We've been wanting to do this play for a long, long time, probably for about 7 or 8 years. And because one of the reasons I think is because we've been wanting to do a classic of some kind, and doing Arthur Miller would be fun. And that's something that a lot of Teatro Vista members never get to do. So that was the number one reason. The number two reason, and it started many years ago, and Ricardo wanted to do it as well, but it started when Eddie Torres was the artistic director. He just thought it would be a good fit since the play dealt with immigration issues and what's going on in the country now. He just thought it was a nice overlap. You know, the play is, Arthur Miller talks about it being a tragedy. And so in that way, you can see so much humanity in it, and so much struggle. And I think they're all things that human beings deal with. This play deals with betrayal, it deals with love and what that love means, and maybe the places that love goes where you don't want it to go, and it deals with loss and dealing with a child growing up and what effect does that have on people. It also deals, maybe not directly, but with the struggles of a marriage. So just the strong relationships in the play, and I think that any human being can relate to that. I just remember reading Arthur Miller when I was 17 and coming home and reading. It wasn't this play, it was All My Sons. And I was 17, and I just remember being blown away. I was sitting in the kitchen of my parents' house and reading it, and just sitting there and thinking, oh my God, and like just about sobbing. And it wasn't like I had lived through any of those things. I was only 17, but it really spoke to the humanity of it. You just really got to it. The way he paints these characters is it's just amazing. So it's so great to be doing it. Beatrice has a mother relationship with Catherine. She has raised her since her sister, we can assume that her sister has passed away, so she's taken over raising the daughter. So in many ways, she's her mom, but she's also her aunt. And I think it's sort of that weird thing of she's my daughter, but not quite my daughter, so there's a limit to what I say and do. But basically, she has been the mother figure in that relationship. I think, number one, she loves her. And she has raised her like a daughter, so she has that. And even if she weren't her daughter, it's her niece. So I think there's a very strong bond with that, which you see, I mean, that's typical of so many kinds of cultures, but especially in like a Latin culture, you just really feel that family is family. They belong to us, we belong to them. But I think it gets complicated because it's a young woman who's not her husband's daughter, and she sees him being very attached to her, and I think it's making her uncomfortable. I think there's something in there as well, since maybe their marriage is not quite, it's not in a place where she's comfortable or feeling secure about it. So to have a beautiful young woman in the house who's not his daughter, no matter the fact that they've raised her, it is uncomfortable, and maybe bringing up feelings in her that she's not proud of, but that she feels nonetheless. I think that Beatrice loves Eddie very much. I think that she needs Eddie in a way that a wife, especially in the 50s, needs a husband. So it's mixed with that love and that need. And it's a commitment for a lifetime. This is a lifetime commitment. Marriage is not something that is thrown away easily. And divorce is rare at this time, or certainly rarer. So when things are not good, I think it is particularly terrifying. I think at the same time, she knows there are things she needs to say and that she needs to confront him with. And that's not always an easy thing to do, given the culture, given the time period, and given the subject matter of the things that she has to bring up. So I think it's a complicated relationship, as I guess most male-female relationships are. But then you add culture, and you add time period, and you add complicating factors, and it becomes maybe almost a tinderbox of things that can happen, can blow up. It's tense. What I think is going to be challenging is finding her strength, but also finding the soft. And I think There was a, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure all of that out, but it seems to me at this point, the very beginning of the rehearsal period, that there's a way of being, a femininity, a quality of femininity that women were expected to have in the 50s that I think is different than it is now. And I've often thought, thank God I wasn't born earlier than when I was born, because I don't think it would have been good for me. I think I would have been a very unhappy person. And so I think I have to transform myself to a different time period where the expectations were different, without making her so soft that she loses the edge that she does have, because she is strong enough to bring things up that need to be brought up. So for me, that's where I feel like I need to really explore and get comfortable with that. Because we wanted to give voice to authors that aren't often heard from, we've really concentrated on Latino playwrights. And for a long time, as long as I've been in the company, which has been since the late 90s, we've always wanted to do classics. And it's just, for whatever reason, it's never really worked out. And it's something that continually came up. And so I think for a lot of us, especially those of us who've been in the company for a long time, we're just excited to finally be here, to finally be doing something that we've wanted to tackle. And I'm thinking that this is going to be the beginning of a period of time where we were able to do that and to take on all kinds of challenges that we know we can do, but we just don't always get the opportunities to do. So we're excited to finally be doing it.